Hola, ¿cómo estás? Mi nombre es Mario. Okay, I don't know why I said that in Spanish, but just so you guys know, I speak Spanish. So yeah, we're gonna be reacting to Orb today. This is gonna be episode 21. The times are changing, and we are almost in the finish line. How are you feeling, babe?
I am ready to find out how this ends. Kind of crazy.
I feel like we're going to be experiencing some peak in these next few episodes. So for this week, we will be releasing this standalone and be grouping the next 22, 23, and 24, 25, just so there can be some cohesion with the ending. We didn't want to just react to the last episode by itself because I feel like maybe these two will be grouped together better. And so that's the reason why, that's the approach that we're doing for this episode. And we couldn't be more excited. We're right there towards the end, and I feel like shit's gonna hit the fan
Again,
but in a good way. I feel like the culmination of what the series has been and all these characters that were introduced is gonna be in these final next episodes. But without further ado, let's jump into this episode of Orb Movements on the Earth, episode 21. The times are changing. Ooh,
I feel like the times are always changing.
Yeah.
With this anime.
Rip Jolenta.
No.
A real one. A real one.
No.
I still can't believe we lost her.
That's crazy. Not surprised.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
On so soon. My toothless queen.
That's rude. She lost her tooth for justice, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They met with.
Yeah, that's why I was like.
君ら何者だどこへ行くうちの若いのと女性職人を遍歴に出そうと送ってるところですこれが証明書です
Uh-oh. Will he believe it?
I don't know.
なぜ武装
Uh-oh.
山賊対策です何かと物騒ですのでほう
He actually gonna go without fighting?
では先を急ぐので
待ってください
Uh-oh.
いらない布を持ってないですか松明に巻きたくて
Nope.
ではこのマントを
いやいやそんな上等なのもらえませんこの中に何か
Oh.
適当なのありませんかね
これどうぞもう捨てようと思ってて
ではお言葉に甘えて失礼しました
神のご加護
That was a close one.
I can breathe.
This is the first time where they actually don't have to fight someone.
Thank God.
Counter.
先ほどは助かった感謝する
いいよ別にここで終わったら私も損をする信念には対価が必要なんでしょ
ああ
Is she gonna wear Jolentas?
信念はすぐ呪いに化ける迷って
Hmm.
Oh, here we go.
それに
That's peak,
ここ
bro.
で終わったらヨレンタさんの感動も死ぬ
感動
ええあなたたちはそれを情だと切り捨てるかもしれないけどだったら私は拾う
Damn.
Fuck yeah, bro.
話を聞いてるとあなたたちがたどり着く未来にはヨレンタさんの目的はあっても記憶がない後ろめたさも後悔も迷いもないあなたたちがヨレンタさんの計画を引き継ぐなら私はヨレンタさんの思いを引き継ぐ
Let's go.
なぜだ
She's a girl's girl.
い
I'm
つの間に
just
組織長にそこまで情が入った
知らない会った人に死なれたからじゃないそれと手紙を出すって約束しちゃったから
Inspiration.
おお、待ちくたびれたぜ、シュミット。
Oh, more people?
遅いから死んだのかと思ったぜ。
ま
Oh,
だその時
nice.
は来ないようだ
うちのお嬢ちゃんは迷子か
私は
協力者だ。彼女が原本を燃やした。だから現状彼女しか本の内容を知らない。そしてその内容を教えることと引き換えに印刷機を貸す約束をした。
あ
Uh-oh.
信用できるのか？
現状信用するほかない。
That was some tension I didn't like.
Yeah.
見かけはボロいが紛れもねえ。印刷機だ。
Ooh.
で、組織長は
死んだよ。
そうか。
ああ、全てはこの任務のためだ。我々の組織理念とは何か。この世界の風通しを良くすることだ。既存秩序と対峙し、新たな地平を次世代に広げることだ。そのためにどうするか。どんな雄弁も語りを止めれば声は消える。どんな支柱も時が経てばいつかは朽ちる。だが我々は方法を知った。信念を固定化し、思想を可視化し、瞬間を永遠に遠い場所へ、遥かな未来へ、または別の誰かのところへ届くようにする方法。この方法は強烈だ。既存秩序を破壊し、階級を解体する力を持つ。我々はそれを実行する。これより出版活動を開始する。
Damn.
Bro, that shit was so peak, bro. God damn.
これが原本と活字だ。
よし、じゃあ早速活版を組んでいく。記念すべき1ページ目。本のタイトルは
Ooh.
地球の運動について。
Damn.
よし、それなら
ちょっと待って。ヨレンタさんって解放戦線の組織長として名前は知れてないですよね。
No way.
発行人として
Yup.
表紙に名前を組む
Let's
のは
go.
うん、いいだろう。
Hell yeah.
参ったな。何文字か割れちまって
Oh no.
まあ、活字は割れやすいからな。くそ。N は全滅だぜ。
And
しょうがねえ。一時中断だ。町で鉛を入手する。
No.
it was risky as
She's gonna
fuck.
have to go.
Yeah.
これは
ん
鉛線だから溶かせば使えない。この量なら少しは足しになるでしょう。
しかしそれは。
いいからそれより早く印刷を見たい。
ジョーちゃん仮だな。
Wow.
じゃあ始める。
Wow.
You saved them yet again.
これが活版印刷。
Hell yeah.
よし、紙を持ってきてくれ。すれるだけするぞ。君たちは町で鉛を入手できないか探れ。怪しまれないようにな。残りの者は可能な範囲で組版を。諸君、取り掛かろう。
Wow. I'm so impressed. Episode is so good.
順調ですね。あと数日で輸送に移れるでしょうか。
ああ、さすがの印刷術だ。これが成功すればいろいろと将来の選択肢も増える。
将来ですか。馬の見張り番行ってきます。
ああ、これで我々の目的へ一歩近づく。すべて計画通りだ。何の問題もない。
Something's up.
あなたたちがたどり着く未来にはヨレンタさんの目的はあっても記憶がない。私はヨレンタさんの思いを引き継ぐ。
いや、すべては神の思惑通り。情への憂慮など不要。ここがブレては 私の目的など達成できん。そうだ、計画は成功したのだ。
隊長、
What?
しつこいようです。
No!
今一度確認させ
He
てく
killed
だ
the
さい。
horses.
Did he?
だからここがバレたら大惨事ですよね。
ああ、
What's
それと
happening?
ここにいた馬たちは唯一の移動手段でしたよね。
He's
Oh no.
fucking killed them. He's a traitor.
じゃあこれでちゃんと一巻の終わりだ。
通報は済んだのか。
ええ、前町へ降りた時。
Why? Traitor. Oh.
Why? Why?
どうぞとどめを。
うん、
数十分もすれば騎士団が来る。印刷機を移動させる時間もない。
Why did he do it?
なぜ裏切った？誰の命令だ？どこに仕えてる？
どこにもずっと憎かったんだ。貴様らみたいな異端のクズどもがな。
君も私と共に何人もの騎士団を殺した。
信念のため必要な犠牲だ。貴様らを消す。それが物心ついた時から俺の信念だ。迷いなどない。
信念を達成するには爪が甘かったな。
Oh?
He's been onto him.
分かってないな。これは慈悲だよ。
慈
ああ、時間をあげてるんだ。さあ、まだ救いはあるぞ。この模範教徒の俺が特別に聞き届けてやる。だから言え。貴様らの苔にした教会正統派は間違ってませんと、この俺に言え。言え。
Oh.
Oh, he was the brother.
What brother?
That one episode. The one that was gonna kill the nephew?
No way.
Wait,
You
wait.
think?
Well, not him. I think it's that. He's the little boy.
The boy or the uncle? Oh, the little boy. Wow. Well, we knew it was one of them. We just didn't know which one.
Yeah, yeah.
貴様に見えないんだ。と十字。
Wow.
It's a crazy shot.
Yeah, that is crazy.
隊長、怪しい馬車が数台こっちに。フライ君が裏切った。
Dude, this is gonna make it so much harder for them to do it now.
I'm stressed.
すぐそこに敵がいて、俺らには馬がない。そんな。じゃあここまで来て印刷機を捨てるのかよ。
最悪。
So they can't even run.
全員死ぬ。
その通り。だが、できることはそれしかない。
お
運よく逃げ切ったやつがまた一から立て直す。現実的に考えて生き残る道はそれしかねえ。
They can't chase all of them.
いや、二つだ。
The second.
出版するにはもう一つ選択肢がある。
なんだ。
みんなで協力して私を逃がすって選択。
どういうことだ。
作戦を説明します。
何バカなこと言ってるんだ。できるわけないだろう。今から誰と戦うと思ってるんだ。教会だぞ。
馬を奪えば数時間で行ける。
不可能だ。
不可能なんて存在しない。特に人の心に関しては。私は神を信じていない。あなたたちはそれを拒絶するかもしれないけど、だからこそ見える景色もある。時代は変わる。いや、変わらざるを得ない。私ならそこをつける。彼を説得できる。
Vince who?
確かに俺らが力を合わせれば 一人や二人逃がせるかもしれねえ。だがその代わりにあんた以外が死ぬ。
もちろん。でも出版する。それがこの組織の目的でしょう。偶然の数人か、選んだ一人か。
そうは思わない。
Oh shit.
君を逃がせたとしても、その先で説得できるとは思えない。成功する根拠がなさすぎる。たとえ君以外の数人が逃げ切れても、その先で印刷機を手に入れ、さらに出版流通までこぎつける可能性もまた非常に低いだろう。
どうする隊長。
私はこういう行き詰まった時のいい方法を知ってる。神に聞きましょ
A coin flip.
No way.
う。では行きます。
待て、君はこのやり方で決めていいのか。
はい。表だ。
Y'all run?
みんなで逃げよ
Yep.
う。
よし、みんな急ぐぞ。
It was always both heads.
君が逃げろ。我々が守る。みんな聞いてたか。
隊長、それは提案ですか。
That's an order.
命令だ。
Oh my gosh. Damn.
Oh, dude, I wish we could have be watching the second episode, but I have to trust that it's just
Gonna
those,
be, yeah.
that was an amazing episode from Draka inheriting the heart of Jolenta
Yeah, that was nice.
and then being betrayed. I felt like there was something up with this guy. There was always like that tension, and we felt it in this episode for sure.
Well, we never figured out who the kid was because
Right.
we went to that flashback.
Yeah.
But we never figured out who of those guys was the kid.
Mm-hmm.
We just kind of like skimmed over it and whatever.
We forgot about it, but
yeah.
that goes to show that the writing is really good. That we totally forgot about it. And then this is like the ending of this was so peak because, you know, they settled it and the coin flip,
Leaving
and
it to fate.
leaving it to
right?
fate. And then remember how that one episode he had previously done that Schmidt guy, he did the same thing where he
Yeah.
did the coin flip, and for him to go and be like, no, well, he's almost going against his own convictions because he doesn't leave anything to chance. He's pretty much like set in stone in the way he does things, and so for him to do it the other way speaks volumes. And it, you know what this reminds me of, like the influence Badeni and Oxy had to one another. This is the same thing.
Yeah.
They both have an influence with one another, and I think the conversation that they had in talking about, oh, you guys only want to accomplish her goals, but I'll be the one to accomplish her heart, or like, you know, to inherit her heart. I think that moved him.
Oh yeah.
So-
It does take a lot after Oxy in that aspect of
Yeah.
Feeling and emotion and like struggling with, you know, their conviction.
Yeah.
So I can see that. And then Badeni was very just level-headed, you know, was like, no, this is what we're gonna do, this is how it's gonna happen, you know, and that's that. Like,
Yeah.
so it was nice to see that contrast this episode as well. And it was very, very like it's something always has to happen, and
Yeah.
we should have seen that at least coming, that
Yeah.
you know, it wouldn't have been that easy to publish this book because we still have Novak to deal with. So
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting about him. Oh, and before we keep talking, we did have somebody comment and let us know that, you know how they mentioned the book. You know how the book that they found from Oxy, you know how at the end of the book it says give 10% to
Hockey?
Hockey?
Yeah.
Well, that didn't come from Oxy. That came from Badeni.
It came from Badeni?
Yeah, we had. I'll look to see who commented on that.
No
but
way.
Thank you for letting me know. So, remember when they found the chest?
Because it came from Raffle.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
he never mentioned to him he never told him the address. Because in this book it says the address.
Oh.
He never told Badeni the address. He just read it. Badeni is like he only all he said was give 10% to Potki, and then he after that he read the address, but he didn't tell him. So
Wait, didn't tell who what?
Badeni didn't tell Oxy the address.
Oh, so only Badeni would have known the address because he's the only one that could read at the time.
Yeah. And so in doing so, he ended up leaving that message with like the guys with tattoos, and then they put all that together, and then that's how they ended up not only getting that sentence but also the address.
It comes to show how much Oxy inspired Badeni in that way.
Yeah.
Emotionally wise, because again, I said like that guy's super level-headed, and though he was just straightforward to what he wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
Oxy, I feel like, touched his heart, his feelings in some way.
Yeah.
So that was beautiful. That I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to know.
And I wanted to say that before I forgot, because when I was reading that comment, I think I read it earlier today. I was like, dude, that just goes to show how much detail is in this writing. And so, shout out to you for anybody that I'll find out and I'll give you my thanks, because that was a really cool nugget.
Yeah.
And the same thing for this one where they have Draka and Schmidt have that conversation, and then they do the opposite, or like Draka ends up sacrificing her coins.
I will say on that part, like in a way, she's giving up this really precious, sentimental, object of her dad, of the time of his passing. And at the same time, it's like they're accomplishing what they wanted to do, right? But in a way, it's gonna carry on, and like there's some part of her dad that also is gonna carry into this thing, because coins are full of blood, of her dad's blood still.
Yeah.
And as they melted it, I feel like that's still there's still some part of her dad in this accomplishment, and what she's now, carried on as far as, her conviction now and her, motivation, so I feel like it all just connects and it all kind of just intertwines. Okay.
And not just that, she's also, right before she did that, she remembered, or there was a flashback of Jolenta saying that sometimes convictions can be curses, and that seems basically like her
letting go.
Yeah of letting go, and then like accepting that she is inheriting Jolenta's heart by doing so, because she's basically reborn in this episode as a new person with new convictions, and we see it here now with the choice of being given that everybody's willing to lay down their lives, by the order of Schmidt, but laying down their lives for this one person. You know what it reminded me of? Attack on Titan. We know how the Captain Irwin is like giving that speech, and Levi's like, y'all die for me, and I'll go and kill the Beast Titan.
How can we forget that?
I was like, it reminded me of that so much, because it just, I don't know what it is, but
it's a team effort.
It's a team effort, but I like how forward Draco was with like, if you trust in me, I will get this done. And it reminded me of Levi, because he's the one person that he trusted, which is Irwin. He's like, this is my order. Like, this is like, if you let me do this, I can accomplish what you like. Given the situation that we're in,
trust me.
Yeah, trust in me, and I can do it. So it's just peak, man.
And I feel like also the head tail thing kind of like it ended where it should. I feel like where it should have, because it was best of both worlds, right? You didn't have a bunch of those guys die, and then but you're still trying to get her through to escape.
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys were gonna lose their lives. So I was like, man, that sucks, right? But with this, at least they're gone, but these guys are still gonna try and carry out, the mission to get this girl out and have that book published. So
yeah, I'm excited.
And also like such a big thing for Jolenta to have her name on this book and it be published under her name, because this has been a thing since she was little, right? She's been wanting to publish, wanted to be a writer, and the fact that it's sad, it's bittersweet, right? Like the fact that it happens after she passes away. It's sad, but it's also sweet because she's finally getting to accomplish what she wanted to. And in a group effort, right? Because this was all, together with Denny and Oxy, and obviously their names won't go on the book, but the fact that she was able to rewrite this whole thing on her own with the help of Draka, and then have her name published on it, it's like it's so full circle. It's a full circle moment.
That's exactly what it is, and and the fact that it came from Draka, the one that was like the one to suggest it, is just like, dude, they couldn't be more peak. Just like in understanding the situation and something that Jolenta, because they probably don't know her previous work as a scholar. So the fact that that's coming in full circle in this episode after the fact, you know, obviously she's post-mortem, like after she died. It's really, really cool to see it kind of develop into this. Now we don't know if it's going to be accomplished because of the situation that we're in, but we'd like to assume that it's going to end in a good note.
Hope so.
Fingers crossed. And we don't know what the plan is. I know she basically mentioned about stealing the horse and how the guys were like, it's not going to work. And she kept mentioning she wants to talk to him, which I don't know who she's referring to, but I'm thinking it's Novak.
That's gonna be interesting.
But how that's gonna do or what? And I think maybe she might use Jolenta. I mean, maybe she'll mention or like.
Well, he's gonna see the hood, so he's gonna know.
You're right.
He's gonna know right away that this has something to do with his daughter. And the confirmation at the end of holding her blown up probably kind of confirmed that for him.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah.
Dude. Coming to record the next session.
Awesome.
It's gonna be good. We're gonna go ahead and finish off there, but I couldn't be more excited how this series is wrapping up to be. I also got emotional and just kind of be fun. When Schmidt is talking, when they're about to like when they find the printing press, he goes into the cabin and then comes out and he's giving that speech. The music that was playing in the background, and then while he was giving that speech, I got a little bit emotional because that shit was so peak. Like just the way, obviously it's Rengoku, the way he's like presenting like what it means to finally be publishing the whole thing was leading up to that moment, and so I just kind of
it's so inspirational.
Yeah, I wanted to leave that there, but we're gonna go ahead and finish off here, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know if there's anything that we missed, which I'm sure there's been a ton. Yeah. Join Discord, Patreon, we're ahead, and we'll see you guys next week. See you later. Love y'all. Peace.
Bye.